Got a text today from a good buddy and just said, what do you make of all this Anthony Richardson hype? For those of you that have been living under a rock, Anthony Richardson absolutely lit up the NFL Combine. Now, what do we make of this? How much stock do we put into the Combine? Where do we see Anthony Richardson in regards to this NFL draft? Now, a quick disclaimer. This show is exclusively and loyally college football centric. However, Anthony Richardson doesn't play for an NFL team yet. The way that I see it, AR is college football until the baton is passed on draft day. So we're going to go to bat here and talk about AR just a little bit. The best way I could sum up Anthony Richardson in the NFL Combine was putting a number to things that we already knew about him, right? We knew he was fast. How fast is he? Turns out 4.44 in the 40-yard dash, so really fast. Knew he was explosive. How explosive? Set records in both the vertical and the broad jump for a quarterback. 40.5 inches in the vertical. Like, that is just stupid. That is Vince Carter armpit in the rim kind of bounce. All right, we knew he was big, 6'4", 244 pounds, has a cannon, showed it off at the Combine. Like, all this did was add fuel to the fire of the narrative that Anthony Richardson has ridiculous tools. It just put data to what we already knew about him, okay? And we got to see it with our own eyes on national television. So again, pouring gasoline on the fire that is the AR hype train. Now, we've seen this work before. And when I say this, I mean really athletic, freakish tools kind of quarterback. And we've seen it work early. Justin Fields last year with the Chicago Bears. Bears didn't have a whole lot of success. Justin Fields, he did. Josh Allen, a little bit less mobile than AR. He ran right around in the 4.7 range, but still big body, big arm, obviously lighting up the league right now. Then you got Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton. Lamar Jackson in that freakish category in terms of athleticism, seen him have success, not just as an athlete, but as a passer. Unanimous MVP, Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, big frame. Like, you see where I'm going with this? If Anthony Richardson is a success in the NFL, it will not be the first time we've seen it work. It will not be the first time we've seen someone of his stature and athletic prowess ball out in the league. But I think there's a little bit of overkill in regards to how we're talking about this guy. So let's settle down just a little bit. I got some more thoughts here, but make sure you're subscribed. Talking college football every single day on this channel, on this show, The Hard Count. We are live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, same time on Thursday, so lock it in right here. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram and on Twitter at JDPakel. Like I said, we have to sort of put this in perspective, all of the Anthony Richardson hype. What would I buy about this AR hype? I would buy that he arguably, absolutely has the most upside of any quarterback, potentially any player in this entire draft class. I would also buy that he is probably in the top 3. I would go Bryce Young. You could push back on the CJ Stroud versus AR power rankings. I have CJ Stroud at 2. I'd put AR ahead of Will Levis. Again, going back to the tools based on the upside, based on just the sheer God-given ability that AR has, I think he's worth taking over someone like Will Levis, who I have my own question marks about with what he did at Kentucky. But here's what I will not buy. Here's what I am not yet on the train with. He's got the 3rd best odds to be the number 1 pick in the draft. I think that's fair, but I wouldn't take him number 1. I wouldn't buy that he's the best quarterback in the draft. Like I just told you, there are some folks out there saying take AR with the 1st pick, generational ability. That's good, but I've told you how I feel about this. I'm like Kevin Costner in draft day. Bryce Young, no matter what. I got it on the Post-it note. That's how I feel about this quarterback class. You can't let the NFL Combine make you forget that these guys just played a whole season of the sport that they're getting drafted to play professionally. Now, what do I mean by that? Anthony Richardson, as talented as he is, as much juice as he has, threw for less than 200 yards 6 of the 12 games that he played in. Yes, there were times where he looked elite. Against Utah, he took that game over. Made circus play with his legs, with his arms. He was a dog in that game. He was the difference in that game. There's also games against Missouri where he threw for less than 100 yards. So that's why I have some pause. I've seen AR do great things, but I've seen him be inconsistent. And so if you're taking Anthony Richardson, more power to you. But just know that you're making a gamble. And it's a calculated gamble. Far be it for me to say that I know more than these NFL scouts. But I would just say AR is extremely high risk, but he's also extremely high reward. So I just wanted to kind of have a conversation here about Anthony Richardson. Again, extremely talented. If he works out in the league, it would not surprise me at all. I would take him before I took a lot of other players in this draft. He has the potential to change your franchise. That's the kind of ability he has. If you hit on Anthony Richardson, if you hit with that draft pick, he could change your franchise for years to come. But just know the inconsistency that I've seen from him, at least at Florida. It's a whole other conversation about what he did or didn't have at Florida in terms of weapons. What I saw at Florida gives me a little bit of concern in regards to taking him number 1 overall. But we pull for Anthony Richardson. I'm excited to see where he ends up at. I'm sure he's going to continue to light up the pre-draft process, whether it be on the whiteboard, whether it be at his pro day. He's going to keep doing amazing things. You're going to keep seeing him as a trending topic on Twitter when it comes back to his pro day. Just go ahead and bookmark this. He will be trending on Twitter after his pro day. But we wish him nothing but the best. Excited to see what he does in the league. This has been The Hard Count. Nick Brake lifting heavy. Again, this is your show, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you come right back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're talking some ball, folks, live and live in color. Make sure you're locked in for that. Hit the bell. Follow me on the socials. We'll get after it. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.